I will grab you. I'm like,
Yeah, but it's winter time. It's like 37 degrees outside.
It's still dry.
is it really?
Earlier today.
I'm gonna wear the shortest dress too. Oh my god, I'm gonna die.
In the morning it was.
They're like, well, you know, if anything happens and it swells, I said, will it swell because I'm about to drink? You know, because that's gonna happen. They're like shaking their head. I was like, you want me to lie to you? I'm trying to tell you people the truth. Thank you.
Just keeping it real.
Yeah. I'm like, I want to know if I'm gonna wake up and half my head's gonna be swollen. Okay.
Cool, ready to go when you are.
Hey.
I heard you coming in the room saying that you swore you were going to get the submission in this fight. How confident were you in that?
So I didn't swear I was gonna get the submission. In my head, this whole training camp, I was like, I'm gonna knock her out. I'm gonna hit her so hard, I'm gonna knock her out. I'm gonna find my angles. I'm gonna let go on my feet and get a knockout. She's a jiu-jitsu black belt. I knew I was capable. I have submitted black belts, but I thought, that's a pretty tall order. You can knock out a black belt, but submitting them, like, you had better be like completely on point. And it's kind of strange too, because like when I was going through this camp, I struggled in some of the MMA practices. I was getting frustrated, you know, things weren't going my way, but my jiu-jitsu was like above levels. You know, like I was like, you're not even gonna want to really take it to the ground. I don't know why you're like, you know, doing so much jiu-jitsu, but then here we are, and I got a submission against a girl that beat the current champion, so I'm pretty excited.
How uplifting is that for you? I mean, you're number 7 coming into this in the rankings. Do you feel like you're getting closer to another title shot?
Oh, absolutely. I want to fight the winner of Ronda and Amanda. I mean, she beat Amanda Nunes, and she beat her soundly, you know, and she's only had like a few losses in the recent years. And she lost, you know, pretty quickly to Ronda, but I actually thought that fight was going to go longer and be tougher. You know, like Ronda threw her, and I think it really like knocked the wind out of her and stuff. I mean, obviously Ronda has great throws, and you know, that stopped the fight. But I was wholly expecting that to be a really tough battle.
How much adversity were you going through in the end of the first round when she had you in the triangle and she was throwing up elbows?
So really, I was thinking, I was like, I knew something was wrong with my face. Like my face, I was like, I got hit hard. She hit it hard like a few times, and I was like, okay, you know, yeah, that hurt. I need to move my head, you know, yeah, I could feel that. And then one hit, I knew, I was like, something's wrong, you know? And I immediately took her down. I went exactly back to where I could protect myself better and wouldn't keep taking damage on my feet. And then, you know, for a little bit there, I was like, I had to refocus myself. I had to stop thinking about that half my face is numb, and I'm like, okay, you have to end this fight. You know, you can't keep taking damage. So when I was there, I knew if I postured up, I knew she was gonna hit me. So I was really trying to protect my head, but then I was like, that's not gonna cut it. You work too hard to finish your fight just smothering someone and protecting yourself. You have to like posture up, you have to, and it took a little bit of like courage and heart to like know I was exposing myself, knowing that something could be really wrong with me, and posture up and hit her anyways.
So when you said something's wrong, that's the feeling, the numbness in the face went away?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, like, when you're fighting, you know, like, truthfully, I would prefer something being numb rather than hurting. You know, I was like, oh, this is actually pretty fortunate, you know? But, you know, there's that little slight panic, like, what if you did, like, for real damage? You know, because I've had cuts, I've had bruises, I've had torn ligaments and things like that, you know, and strained muscles, stuff like that, and I've worked through them, but I've never had where, like, something went numb. And so this was, like, a new experience for me, but then I thought, I don't care, win anyways. This is where your heart comes into play. Go out there, find a way to do it. That's what wrestlers do.
What about the end of the round when she had you in the triangle, she was throwing the elbows? Did you know that time was running out?
I could hear her corners telling her that time was running out. So I knew, I was like, okay, weather the storm. And then, you know, my coaches, they were giving me instructions on the feet, and I was like, I can't feel half my face. And then Phil's like, just listen to Jimmy. And I was like, these guys are gonna make me stay on my feet. Great. You know, like,
is that what you said when they moved your chair? Is that what you said to them?
Where are we going?
Like, oh, okay.
I was like, they're like, move it over to the center. And I thought that they meant that me and her had to come to the center. Like, so when I said that something was wrong with my face, I have no idea how it looked, you know? So in my eyes, they could have been stopping the fight because my face, I didn't know if I was bleeding. I didn't know what was going on. I'm just like, this is like a completely new feeling, you know? But I knew maybe they think, oh, she's pretty screwed up. Maybe we should stop this fight.
How was your face feel now?
Like I think that some of the numbness is going away. I think where something she hit, it's one of the nerves, and once that nerve gets swollen a little bit, it can like send numbness through. So they're not as worried about like anything else being wrong. They just think that like it just hit like a really perfect spot. There's swelling around that nerve that goes down like towards my lip and teeth. But I'm already starting to get feeling back, so I think that, in a couple days I'll just have a beautiful shiner and I'll be well. I'll be back in there training.
You already have a beautiful shiner.
Tell me more about my podcast.
I know a lot of people always say that this camp was the best camp ever, but like you were saying, the submission just felt on point, and you've made a runs for the title before. How does it feel right now? Do you feel like you've got everything in order to make the run again? And was it the best camp ever? And are you feeling that we're seeing the best you that we're seeing now?
You are seeing the best me, but it wasn't the best camp ever. I mean, health-wise, normally we do MMA and our jobs are to hurt each other. So even as much as you do padding and protect each other, you get hurt during camps. Everybody does, and you just kind of have to battle through that. But I had fairly healthy camp. I think the biggest thing that I had some frustrating moments, and it kind of didn't sit right with me and it bothered me, but I'm a seasoned athlete. I've been through this before, and I'm like, you've had terrible times leading up to a tournament and had some of your best tournaments. So let go of that, let go of everything that happened, go in there and fight. And I really was like, this comes down to your heart, Your body knows what to do. It's going to do what it does. You'll feel tired. Everybody feels tired. It's a hard fight. But if you go out there and you leave everything in the cage, you do everything you possibly can to win and win with a statement and, dig deep in your heart, it'll show out there, and that's what gave me the tenacity to find that submission.
And you mentioned Rousey and Nunes. Who do you see winning that fight? And how do you, and with the winner of that, how do you see yourself beating the winner should you get that call?
So, truthfully, I don't even care who wins because I would love to fight either of them. I mean, really, I have losses to both. I would really love to avenge the loss. And I mean, both of them, for different reasons. Obviously, I had different losses. But, I mean, if I'm really going with who I think is the better fighter as far as like a good finisher, I think they're both very, very strong in the first round, but I think after that, Ronda is better for the subsequent rounds, and Amanda, that's been something that people have been able to capitalize and win, third rounds, but this is a 5-round fight, and I suspect that Ronda will rebound from the loss from Holly, and she's a seasoned athlete also, and so, we're just able to come back, refocus, and do it again. And I think that her submissions, I have a ton of respect for it. I've trained to fight her, and so I know how slick and how good she is with that. And so I think that I give the slight edge to Ronda, but I mean, all respect for Amanda also.
It's been some time past the Ronda Rousey fight that you had, and I remember at the time a lot of people thought it was a early stoppage, but I remember you coming back out and saying that was a liver shot, it was done. How much would getting back in there and knowing now how she operates, would that mean to you to have the opportunity again against Ronda?
So I'm super competitive, so really every person who's ever beat me ever, I would like to avenge, and so it's really more equal. It's not specifically just Ronda. It's anybody I've ever lost to, I want to come back. I want to show who I am as an athlete. I want to show that I can adapt, that I can, play that chess match and come back and avenge a loss. So, but she was one of the most dominant champions that we've had in women's fighting history, and I respect that. And so a win over her probably would feel just a little bit better than anybody else.
And outside of that fight, if they did not give you the winner of that, who else would you like to see yourself matched up against that would put you in the right position, maybe for that next one?
I like Juliana Pena. I mean, I feel like she probably has earned the right more for a title shot, if I'm being completely honest. But if they don't decide to give it to her, I mean, I'd love to fight her. I have respect for her, and I think that would be a really exciting fight.
Perfect. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Get that big celebration on. Get some drinks.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm like, this is probably going to slow more on my drink.